I've been Catholic for 38 years, and I can say that we do a decent job in the church of affirming people who use their talents for the sake of the Lord. And we do an even better job of making people feel guilty if they're not using their talents for the sake of the Lord. In fact, it's highly likely that this gospel passage will be used in churches throughout the world this weekend to make people feel bad if they're not volunteering enough, if they're not giving enough to their parish. But it seems to me this only points to the real struggle that we face, which is helping people to understand where their gifts come from and why they've received them. We seem to jump over that line from our gospel today that says, a man going on a journey called in his servants and entrusted his possessions to them. Those talents don't belong to the servants. They're on loan from the master who wants them to be used well in his absence. And this offers us a different way of looking at the world and everything in it. None of this belongs to us. Everything that exists in reality belongs to God. Everything that exists in life exists only because God wills it. God wants it here. Because this is His house. This is not our house. This is His house. And everything in this house has His name on it. And so the words of St. Paul are so fitting for us. He says, you're not in the dark, brothers and sisters. This is not a surprise to you. You know very well. You should not be caught off guard when the Lord comes back. You know, of course He's coming back, because this belongs to Him. And He's coming back to reclaim what belongs to Him and take it to His Father in heaven. What a difference this makes in how we often perceive the world and our lives and all that we've been given. I remember when I was 11 years old, I was walking around the neighborhood where my friend lived. We had just finished playing a pickup baseball game at the local ball field, and there were 3 or 4 of us walking around the neighborhood. And we had been walking past a number of houses, and one of my friends said, oh, this is where so-and-so lives. I come here all the time. Let's go in and we'll see who's home. So we walked to the back door, and it was unlocked. And so we went into the house, and we walked through the house, and no one was home. And we had been sitting there for about 5 minutes, kicking our feet up on the couch and relaxing. And this kid starts laughing. And he says, guys, I was joking. I have no idea whose house this is. What? I mean, my life flashed before my eyes. I'm going to prison, I thought. My parents will disown me. I have to get out of here. What if they have a gun? What if they come home? I'll never go to prom. I'm never going to see my dog again. I'm never going to taste chocolate ice cream. I mean, my 11-year-old mind couldn't contain all the possible consequences of what was happening here. And so I ran out of the house as fast as I could. My parents, to this day, have no idea that this is between us. It is amazing. In an instant, everything changed. If I'm in a house where I know the owner, and he knows me, and he knows that I'm in his house, that's one thing. But if I'm running around in someone's house, and I don't know them, and they don't know me, and they don't know that I'm running around in their house, that is a totally different story. Friends, think about how we live in this world. Think about how we use the things that are given to us in this world. This house doesn't belong to us. This house belongs to the Father. And if we're running around in reality, acting like it all belongs to us, just using things in the way that we want to use them, spending time in this world as if it was something that was owed to us, then we have forgotten. We have forgotten that this does not belong to us. The Father has offered us this house to live in and to be at home in for a time. And this makes all the difference. Because if we're sneaking through this world like it all belongs to us and to no one else, then there's always a little fear in the back of our minds. What if the owner comes home and catches us using their stuff? And so we can live with this kind of anxiety and tension. And then it's possible that we start to get violent. Because if we say, well, this belongs to me, and this belongs to me, and this belongs to me, and someone else says, this belongs to me, and this belongs to me, then all of a sudden this kind of tension develops between us. Or if we say, well, that person is taking too much of my stuff, and that should belong to me. And all of a sudden we have this competition going on to try to keep up with each other. We can see the effects of what happens when we start to claim for ourselves what in the end belongs to God. But if we know that the house of reality belongs to the Father, and that the Father has provided it to us as a place to call home, then we use it differently. We have a greater respect for what's here. We don't have the same fear that we're going to get caught. And if we really know the Father and are in relationship with Him, then we don't live with the anxiety that He's going to come back and take away our stuff. Because Jesus says to us in the Gospel of John, I'm going to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, then I will come back and take you to myself, so that where I am, you also may be. God is not going to leave us abandoned. God is preparing a place for us, an eternal home for us. And this home is one that we are passing through on our way to our eternal home. And so we have to think about how we use these things. How do we use this world? How do we look at the world around us? Do we ever think, when we're walking through our lives, thank God that I exist. Thank God that in every moment my heart beats. Thank God for every breath that I take. Thank God for the trees, for the sunshine. Thank God for all of these. Do we ever think for a moment that this is all a gift? I don't know about you, I've done nothing. I've done nothing to make any of this. God has made all of this happen. Maybe we have cooperated. Maybe the Lord has given us a gift and we've developed it. Wonderful. Maybe the Lord has given us the gift of intelligence and we've used it well. Maybe God has given us some creativity and we've responded by placing that gift at the service of others. Fantastic. But we didn't give ourselves that gift. It was placed there by God, and we have merely responded to it. We have to think about what God has given to us and how we live in this home that does not belong to us. As we celebrate Thanksgiving this week, I hope it is a moment for us to adopt a spirit of gratitude, not just a spirit of gratitude, but an awareness of all that we have been given. We would have nothing were it not for God. We would not exist were it not for God. Maybe it's worth taking a moment just to thank God for all the blessings that He has given to us.